And welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Sentimiento Latino. This is, of course, number 136, your bi-weekly dose of Latino American StarCraft. I'm your host, ZvP. With me, I'm joined by my lovely plushies. As I quickly fix this. Boom, there we go. My lovely plushies are here. They are with me, and we are just diving straight into this. Exclamation mark be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is stacked, it's beautiful, it's everything you want to see in Latin American StarCraft, and it all begins here. Oh my god. Sporting in the top left hand corner of Moondance, we have our purple Zerg player hailing from the land of Costa Rica, representing Infernalis Esports, going for 13-12. Oh my god. It is EON. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Moondance, we have the Peruvian Protoss player himself, representing Team TGCF. It is XionS. The best Protoss player in all of Peru going up against the best player in all of Costa Rica, period. Also, the cheesiest Zerg player in all of our region. He is absolutely disgusting with what he does, and I'm really curious to see how he pulls off a 13-12 in a ZvP. This is something you see a lot more commonly in ZvZ instead. Of course, XionS is going to go for a probe scout. He goes straight to the main base. I love this from XionS. He doesn't waste any time here at the natural, because let's be honest, EON has a reputation. He is known as being an incredibly cheesy player, and a couple of interesting things are happening here. So Link speed is on the way, but he did not pull out of gas, and this is also being scouted. XionS, he confirms the spawning pool wiggling and jiggling. He confirms that, of course, more gas is on the way. He doesn't see the roach horn behind this, as the Lings should be zoning him out. XionS actually checking the pocket. I love it. So XionS trying to cross his T's and dot his I's. We'll see if he can get into the main base. Back at home, XionS is working on his wall already. We have a second gateway, a cyber core, a zealot is on the way as well. Moondance is pretty narrow, so you only need 2 buildings to wall off. So again, this is a very solid wall here. The Lings rock up, but only 6 Lings are going to be here across the map. Again, the real plan is those roaches. So far, so good. The control, no Lings have gone down yet. Up, but the Lings actually get in. What? The Lings slip on in. The Zealot is going to be going down just barely. The Zealot does fall. 2 probes fall as well, so a good start here for EON. There is no Link flood behind this. If there was, maybe he could have just ended the game here and now, but no, it's kind of multifaceted in that way. Looking at the vision, it looks like the probe didn't get back into the main base. XionS is still in the dark as to what this is. It could still be a Bane bust, but here we go. Lings don't reveal themselves yet. Ravagers are going to be on the way, and Lings are going to be flooding behind this. Here we go. The first couple of Ravagers are already being morphed in back at home. They haven't been revealed, by the way. That's the most important part. Only the Lings have been shown for the time being. Regardless, XionS is taking this very seriously. We have a second pylon here, so it's going to be very difficult to depower everything. We have a shield battery as well. And here we go. The Adepts still haven't seen anything yet. Now, finally, the Ravagers reveal themselves. Also, XionS has a very short period of time here to respond. He's going to be kiting as best he can. The Adepts are going to force an army back. The Adepts are going to threaten the mineral line, so something has to deal with this. It looks like the Lings, the reinforcements, are going to be enough to clean this up. Meanwhile, the Ravagers are here across the map. How many Ravagers? I think it's 3. 3 Ravagers in total. Immediately, they bow down this pylon. Pylon taking a couple of hits here, but again, we have a shield battery. We have a second, third shield battery on the way. Oh my god, are they going to finish up in time? The pylon, it looks like it should be going down just barely. A couple more hits, and it does go down. But we have a second pylon. We have a third pylon behind this. So XionS, again, he's trying to make sure he holds on here. Decent focus firing on the Ravagers, but all 3 of them have survived for the time being. We do see him getting stuck a little bit here. He's trying to focus down the Stalkers, trying to overpower these shield batteries. And it looks like he will. All 3 shield batteries actually run out of energy. Uh-oh. The boys are forced to be pulled. The gateways are depowered. Oh no! And so is the cyber core. Warp gate is not going to finish. The Ravagers are starting to fall now, and it looks like XionS is going to be able to hold on. He does throw down another pylon in the end. There's still 1 Ravager remaining. And Lings, they keep on coming. Oh no, but the Adepts haven't been dealt with. Uh-oh. The entire time these Adepts have been killing. 14 kills on one of these Adepts. What? This is why we A move and we don't move command. 14 kills on one adept. Those are Ling kills, by the way. That would have changed everything. If it wasn't for these two adepts, EON would have 100% flooded this area and won the game. Ay, that's insane. Eventually the adepts get cleaned up, but those two adepts for XionS were the MVPs. I thought the reinforcements were going to be enough to clean them up, and I guess EON thought so as well, but it just wasn't the case. And now it's too late. Now we have all of our pylons, we have our shield batteries, we have warp gate finished. XionS is going to hold on 2 bases, and EON has to go back to droning. Oh, I say that, but the Lings do manage to slip on in. Is it going to be enough, though, with the power of the shield batteries? I don't think it will. I mean, one Stalker does end up falling. Yo, a second Stalker, a Zealot, a third Stalker. Somehow, EON is still dealing damage here. He has no fear for shield batteries. He takes down all 3 Stalkers and both Zealots. With surprisingly little, EON is doing an insane amount of damage. He forces more boys to be pulled. This is very necessary damage. Without this, EON just wouldn't be in this game. Oh my god, can he take down that pylon though? Oh, it looks like he will. Up, una más, puppy, una más. He just needs one more. It looks like XionS is barely going to be able to hold on to it. Behind this, he went for a Robo. He's got an Immortal on the way. With the Immortal, he should be fine, but more Lings flood in. The pylon falls, the shield batteries, sorry, the sentries are going to be going down as well. Can we get a force field in time? It looks like we will get a force field, locking everything in. We have an overcharge. Oh. XionS again, he holds, but he's been sustaining some losses here, and because of that, EON is catching up. XionS still has a worker lead, and I would say that he has a tech lead because of the Robo as well. But EON has now been able to overtake, or again, just barely catch up in those drones, in those workers. And we'll see where he goes from here. I feel like historically, if like you fail a roach push, I feel like a fast lair and maybe even mutas could come into play. But it's always a risky thing to do because we already have an Immortal, we have a second Immortal. Like, I imagine XionS is going to be going for a 2-base push soon TM as he goes for his own scout to see if there is something like a fast lair or a fast spire. Meanwhile, oh, sorry, this is a best of 3, not a best of 1, so I should quickly fix that. For the time being, EON is just droning. He's taking a second gas behind this. I was talking about a fast lair. There is that fast lair. Again, I imagine this is going to be for Spire, for mutas. But we'll see because this is going to get scouted. And again, a fast lair like this can only mean a couple of things. Whether it's a fast Spire, it could be Nidus play, it could be just for roach speed. XionS should be scouting again soon. Oh my god! But he can't scout again if he loses his sentries. 1 sentry goes down. He knows how valuable these sentries are. 2 more sentries get warped in. Again, somehow, someway, EON keeps finding some damage. And here we go. It looks like XionS has had enough. We have a Warp Prism on the way across the map. If he takes everything, he could go for like maybe even a lockdown move, like try and force field the ramp with his sentries. The Warp Prism gets scouted here by these Lings. The army move out gets scouted as well. And now EON knows now is not the time to drone. Now is not the time to tech up. Now is the time to just make an army. Units are what he needs right now. Meanwhile, the Lings bypass all of those units. They go for a bit of a run by, but the wall is a wall. This sentry is pretty isolated, but again, the Lings aren't able to find it. The army is going to rock up here at the 3rd base, and I don't think EON can hold on to it. He is focusing on his army. You know, Roaches, Ravagers, and Lings are on the way, but this 3rd is so isolated. There's no creep connecting it either. Here we go. We have a warband of Stalkers behind this. These are vanilla Stalkers. There are no Blink upgrades or Forge upgrades or anything like that, but with the sheer numbers, it is enough to take down the 3rd. Oh, EON has to give it up. Here we go. Another Overlord going down. We get a little bit of a pause. Hopefully everything is okay in the land of XionS. As a reminder, we are in Latin America, and internet can sometimes be a little bit unstable. Oh, as oh no, the players are coming back. There we go. So they do begin again. We have plenty of Ravagers. I think that EON should be able to hold on here, but he is supply blocked. Force fields are going to be enough to lock down some of these units, and barely he's able to get the hell out of there. He does focus down 1, 2 of these sentries. Oh, the bios are not too bad either, but with the power of 2 Immortals and all these Stalkers, like, despite the amazing bios, I think there's just going to be a little bit too much here. Boys may have to be pulled if EON wants to hold on, and there we go, the boys are pulled. Yeah, with the power of the voice, Yo, he's able to bile down the War Prism. It goes down with the death of the War Prism. There's no more micro potential here on these Immortals. The Immortals are being focused down one after the other. He gets one. Can he get the second? Up, one of us. Yo, he gets the second, and EON completely shuts down this push, but at the cost of 14 workers. EON's going to make a choice, and he's going for a bit of a counterattack, but also droning up behind this. So he doesn't want to be all in. He doesn't want to be forced all in, but he wants XionS to think he's all in. I love it. So again, he's going to be pushing here across the map. A couple of biles going to be connecting with the frontal wall, with those gateways. Oh, what's scary? Robo Bay behind this. It looks like XionS wants to go into disruptors. Technically, he could go into Colossi. It's unlikely, but it's possible. It's possible. Ay. Meanwhile, it looks like at least one gateway is going to go down here. With the death of this gateway, the cyber core is going to be a little bit exposed as well, so that there's potential for damage, but EON doesn't want to overstay his welcome. He doesn't want to overextend, so he's going to back off from here. Behind this, he's still on 2 bases, hasn't taken a third yet, which is a little bit worrisome. Not necessarily for economy, just to like drone up, but just for macro purposes, just to have lava to spend your money. I am a little bit concerned here whether EON is going to be stuck here on 2 bases. He's moving out once again. XionS did take a third behind this, and this is the danger of Moondance. This is the power of Moondance as well. XionS on 2.5 bases essentially. He will be able to outproduce his opponent, and that is a scary thought. Scary thought. EON is going to have to hope and pray for the fight of his life right now. Chipping away at a couple of units here. Surprisingly, it is going to be Colossus and not Disruptors, so XionS wants a more secure form of damage. Doesn't want to risk things with the Nova missing and just failing completely. Behind this again, there's still no third hatchery, so EON is 100% all in. He's going to go for a bit of a Bane Bust. Baneling speed is on the way. It's halfway done. And the Banelings are going to help against the Zealots, but the Colossi are coming in and the Banelings aren't ready. Oh no, speed isn't ready either. Oh my god, the Ravagers are being zoned away by all of these Zealots. Banelings are going to connect with the Zealots on the right-hand side, but is it going to be enough? We have more Lings flooding in behind this, but the Colossi return back home to these 3 shield batteries. We have an overcharge just in case it's required. Biles are going to be connecting with the Protoss army, but again, there is that overcharge, and with it, the Colossi will survive. What's important about this exchange is that EON mainly lost Lings and Banes. He didn't really lose too many of his Roach Ravager, so because of that, his army is still relatively competitive. He still has more Roaches on the way. He's taking another gas. He's committed to the 2-base play. Getting a third behind it though. So his army is still relatively, I said it before, competitive with that of the Protoss, but as the game goes on, it's going to get better and better here for XionS. He has a second Colossi, he's working on a third one, extended thermal lands, he's working on a Templar Archives as well. His tech is starting to get out of control. His economy is getting out of control as well, as we have that third base on the way. Again, it's one of those things where I'm a little bit shocked that Moondance made it through the vetoes, kind of. It is the shortest rush distance in the map pool, and so it makes sense for EON to have gone for that. Again, it's one of those things where imagine a world where those adepts didn't kill 18 Lings. It was 14 with one and 4 on the other. That was 18 Lings in total. That would have been a completely different game. Completely different. But now, here we are in this one. XionS sees the army, does spot it with his observer, does know it's moving out. He's going to be able to reposition with his army. Even has a spotter Stalker out here on the middle of the map. And with 3 Colossi, like, mate, you just can't break this. You just can't push in. But he's trying to go for a flank, for a surround. The shield batteries aren't ready. The Banelings are rolling on in as well. There's not that much buffer for the Colossi. And the Colossi are falling. Where are the shield batteries, Puppy? They're not here. Oh my god, EON, he dives on top of this army just before the Disruptors come out, just before the gateways finish up and they start getting out of control. The Colossi all go down one after the other, and EON has found his timing. He's down 2 bases, he's down in tech. The Disruptor is finally out, but the Disruptor is too late. Here we go, it's going to try and get the juiciest Nova possible. We do have a split, only gets a single Ravager. EON takes down the 4th Nexus, and he keeps on going. Oh my god, again, the 3rd hatchery was only for larva. It was not to be saturated. And EON, despite being incredibly all in this entire game, despite XionS defending for so long, EON, he's finding a way. Oh my god. Vials are connecting. Overcharge is putting in a lot of work though. Let's be real here. This overcharge is doing so much for XionS. Once again, XionS is going to be able to hold here on 2 bases, but he lost a lot of his high power units. He lost his Colossi, he lost his Disruptors. He's only working off of gateway units right now, but it is barely holding. EON is being forced all the way back. He doesn't have a buffer anymore. Ravagers are falling left and right. The Overseer gets taken down as well. XionS barely defending here at his natural base. EON, again, he has to make a choice, and he is droning. I mean, to be fair, I'm sure he's very satisfied with the damage that he dealt. He killed 3 Colossus and a Disruptor, and a 4th base, and a Robo, and a bunch of workers as well. Like, that was a very successful attack. Obviously, he wanted to end the game, but because of how much damage he dealt, like, you could argue that, like, that was already worth it, and he can try and macro from here. He's going to try and force a cancel on the 4th base again with his Colossi. Yo, there's not a lot protecting it, but with the force fields, he's going to be forced all the way back. Oh god, EON, he has to be careful not to overextend with the power of 2 more Archons. I don't know if he can really fight this. He wants the Colossi so bad. It looks like he won't get it in the end. Can he at least cancel the 4th base? He at least needs to do that. But it looks like he's being zoned out. Oh, gets an Archon. Could get a second. Oh. Overstays is welcome. Gets 1 Archon, but the 4th survives. We have another Colossi. I mean, we do have a little bit of droning coming up behind this. So again, EON is still all in, but not as much. He can still sustain himself a little bit longer. He's taking a 4th base. I love it. You love to see it. But this is where we start to think about what our army is looking like. Roach Ravager is okay, don't get me wrong. And when we have big surrounds like the one that we saw earlier, I mean, we can see it find success. But with more Colossi on the way, like, the army of XionS is getting a little bit more sophisticated. It's not very large, don't get me wrong. But we may have to start thinking about other tech here for EON. I say may because, like, this guy can make some magic happen. Like, this guy can make wonders happen with just Roach Ravager. Here we go. He's going for a bit of a scout here with the changing. He confirms the shield batteries. He confirms the army as well. 2 Colossi, 3 Archons. This is honestly a pretty important scout. He sees the probe Maynard coming over towards the 4th base, and he also spots the army moving out. This is going to be the best case scenario here for EON to try and fight on creep. Already getting ready for a bit of a surround here, coming in from the south and the north. But XionS knows better. He pokes in, he pokes out. He only clears up a little bit of creep. And this is the scary moment when Disruptors are coming out. They change the entire dynamic, and they make it that much more difficult to break here. We saw that the first Disruptor didn't really do too much, but here we go. The Disruptors are being spotted by the Changeling. XionS hasn't been able to confirm this yet, that there is vision on his army. Oh, he still doesn't notice. I thought he did. EON getting ready for a bit of a backstab. If XionS ever moves out, EON plans to move in. Move in to either get some economy or maybe even come from behind and snipe those Disruptors. He's got options. Here we go, he's moving out a little bit. EON is still making more roaches and lings behind this. We do see that XionS scouts, and he actually does confirm the 4th base, and now we see what he wants. He wants to try and pressure that 4th. As the army moves out, here we go. EON moves in. He's going to be dancing here. I don't know if he really wants to commit, especially off of creep. The first Nova goes up. Only connects with 1 roach? Question mark. Oh, we do see EON trying to dive, and it looks like the Colossi are getting exposed. 1 Colossi gets picked up, but we have more Disruptors waiting on top of the ramp. EON is not going to chase at the same time. Roaches in the main base haven't really dealt too much economic damage, but they are forcing warp-ins. They're forcing a response. Was it worth it, though? I kind of wish they went for a mineral line instead, because EON lost the 4th, and he didn't deal any economic damage. Now finally 2 3 probes are going down. The main army still standing strong here at the 4th base. XionS trying to take a 5th behind this. EON is looking to try and deny it. It looks like he should. He is in position, and there we go. The army almost coming back to defend. There we go. With these vials, the 5th base goes down immediately. The probes are going to be saved. And for the price of 3 roaches, yeah, pretty good trade here for EON. He's forced to take his pocket base. I know he doesn't want to, but I mean, what else are you going to do in this position? Up. 1 roach goes down. Still just pure roach rav, by the way. I don't blame him. Like, EON, his economy isn't amazing right now. Like, he's got to do what he can with what he has. +1 melee on the way as well, and that will help out his lings. Potentially +2 for Baneling run bys. He does have that Baneling nest, bear in mind. And we do see XionS is working with very limited map vision right now. So EON, he's actually able to outmaneuver, and the wall is not a wall. He can go for a massive run by once again. The army's been revealed, and it looks like we're going for a bit of a base trade. An Immortal goes down for free. XionS, he is committed. He's not turning around. Of course, he can always recall, but there we go. We do see the army of EON just diving on in. That's a pretty interesting contaminate. And there's the recall. Oh, we do see the recall towards the 4th base. Overcharge as well. This is not a fight you want to be taking. We saw a massive disruptor shot going up on those roaches. XionS defends his 4th, but he's going to lose a lot here at his natural. Meanwhile, there's still a bit of an army across the map as well. Like, XionS is so far ahead in that army. Even if he loses his natural base, which he will, I don't think it matters in the end. There's still just so much here across the map. EON, though, he's not going to take this line down. He goes into the pocket base as well. He's going to find even more damage here. I kind of want him to turn around, and he will turn around with the rest of his army. But I don't think there's going to be enough, papi. Ah! The Roach Ravager gets cleaned up. And XionS is still losing a lot across the map, but again, like, there's no drone out on the map. There's no way for EON to really get out of his own bases. And as much as I want to believe, like, EON fought his heart out for this game, for this win, but with the Zealot reinforcements, they get us around on the Ravagers. We have Immortals popping out as well, and again, there's just not enough Roach Ravager, not in this game, to try and end it. He's going to try and pick off 1 more Immortal, and he will get 1 more Immortal. But GG gets called, and XionS will take the first game. That was crazy. GG, well played. Again, that was only game number 1, and this is a best of 3 series, so plenty of games ahead of us. God, that was it. That was a 22-minute game, and oh, I should probably. There we go. That was a 22-minute game, and that game almost ended at like the 5-minute mark. You know, like, part of me wants to wind it back to the Ling flood that got interrupted. That would have ended the game. But despite that, despite EON being so far behind after that, after the failed all-in, he was able to accomplish so much, and he made it so close as well. I'm a little bit shocked by his like 2-base Roach push at the 4th base, where he found the perfect timing just as EON was teching up and getting all of his production going and maybe being a little bit too greedy. Like, EON found that moment. He shut down the army, he killed the 4th base. Again, he made it very close, very close. Very impressive, very impressive. GG, well played. And with that, we are now going into game número 2, number 2. And with that, we'll see if we go all the way to the ace match. EON is up against the wall. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket. The bracket is pretty stacked, and it's a little bit unfortunate that EON were to hit a pro player in the first round. A lot of the pros are hitting each other in the second round, but this is like the highest quality, the highest profile round 1 match. I had to dive on it, and we'll see who makes it out of here. Another reminder, this is a single elimination bracket, not a double elimination bracket, so there is no second chance here for either of our players. Alright, here we go, spawning in the top right hand corner of Inside and Out. We have the purple Zerg player hailing from the land of Costa Rica, representing Infernales Esports. It is EON. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Inside and Out, we have the best Protoss player in all of Peru representing TGCF. It is XionS. And Vegito. TGCF being one of those anime clans in-game. And yeah, XionS, he had a pretty solid defense, a little bit shaky at times, of course, we have to admit, and I was worried for him, maybe being a little bit too greedy at times, but solid nonetheless. We were talking about it earlier. His probe scout in the beginning of the game was pretty important. He didn't waste any time at the natural. He went straight for the main. He went straight for checking the gases, checking the spawning pool. EON has a reputation, and that's the thing about him. Like, that's the problem with stylistic players, whether you're EON, whether you're Turkey Dano, whether you're Mio Micah or Ender or even Demi. These players have a certain play style, and everyone knows about it. Everyone knows how they prefer to play, and that can sometimes be a little bit of a disadvantage if you're a little bit stylistic. So we'll see if EON can overcome that despite being known as a cheeser, because here in game 2, I'm shocked. He went for a hatch gas pool opener. This is something I did not expect to see. So a standard opener from EON, not too aggressive, but he has a reputation for a reason. Just because he has a second base doesn't mean that he needs a third. He could go for some weird 2-base shenanigans. We shall see. Meanwhile, across the map again, a standard opener from XionS as well. He's not being baited into chronoing out a Zealot or anything like that. Everything is looking pretty standard from the side of Protoss. And now I guess the real question, the next question is EON going to take a third base on time? And he is. Wow. Okay, going for that 30 supply hatchery here in the end. You love to see it. So everything is standard here from EON. Things are looking like a normal ZvP. And this is where I start to worry, because I was talking about stylistic players. I was talking about stylistic players earlier, and XionS is another one of those stylistic players. He enjoys going Sky Toss. Not just your standard Sky Toss either. He typically avoids splash damage. He typically doesn't get Storm. He typically doesn't get Archons, Colossi, Disruptors. Sometimes some Disruptors. But it is mainly a carrier Void Ray based army. And that can be abused. That definitely has some weaknesses. And if EON is aware of that, he could abuse that as I'm speaking too soon. EON has finished droning at 25. He's going for a Bane Bust. Is what I mean. Everything was looking normal until it wasn't, because EON this third is only for Larva. Lings are flooding across the map. And the problem is that XionS has no idea. He does have a safety shield battery, and he does have a Stalker as a part of the wall. EON was talking about this yesterday. A Stalker as a part of the wall. 11 Banelings are required to kill a Stalker, 13 if there's a shield battery behind it. So I'm a little bit concerned here, as EON is going to be waddling in. We have a Void Ray, we have a third base. XionS is none the wiser. He doesn't know how aggressive EON is being right now. But here we go. Is it going to be enough? Banelings waddle in again. 8 Banelings are not enough to take down a Stalker. You need more than that. Ling's gonna try and focus down the gateways, but with a shield battery overcharge, XionS defends. Oh my god! The wall's not a wall! What? Oh, okay, we have a shield we have a force field instead. Stalker is gonna be going down, but with the force field, I don't know how much more damage is gonna be done here. Gateway is gonna be focused, and it looks like with the death of the gateway, the Lings are gonna be able to find another way in. Oh, they almost did, but we have another wall behind this. The wall is secure. XionS is not letting any of these Lings into the natural base. The gateway and the Cybercore are a little bit exposed, but the Lings are only trickling in, and I don't know if they can break through. Oh, the pylon falls, but there's another force field. Cybercore goes down, as well as the gateway. This wall is looking nothing like a wall. But was this massive investment really worth it? With the third base behind this, I'm gonna say no. EON is droning up a little bit. He has another wave of Lings. He did force a really awkward response, and this is resources being kind of wasted here. A lot of shield batteries, a lot of pylons. The cyber core has to be remade. More gateways are on the way. Oh my god, charge is on the way as well. But even though we have charge, we actually have 0 gates. XionS is working on that though. Oh my god, we have a follow-up Bane bust on the way. Oh, as we have a pause here from XionS. Again, I hope everything is okay. Oh my god. Alright. Looks like any issues have been resolved after a couple of seconds. Thank god. 5 gates in total are in production here. It looks like XionS wants to go all in on Void Rays and Charge Lots. EON though, Bane Bust. Oh god, he's going for it again. He's going for it again. Ah! Void Rays are moving out, so they're not going to be in position to defend. So ideal scenario for EON. And these pylons on the right-hand side are looking a little bit exposed. Oh my god, in the end, I tries to waddle in, won't in the end. There we go, he does go for the pylons, but the force field stop him. Barely. Two Banelings waddle in, actually. Oh my god, they could deal a lot of damage. The gateway falls as well. The Lings are trying to flood in, and they do make it in. Oh my god, no, the probes are coming back a little bit too soon. Oh, the Banelings, they don't want to detonate prematurely. They're trying to find the juiciest connection possible. One of them goes down. It looks like the second will as well. The mineral line survives. That could have been disastrous for XionS. That could have been ideal for EON. Oof. But XionS defends, and now he's fully saturated on 3 bases. EON, he's trying to transition into roaches behind this, but the writing may now be on the wall. I don't want to believe it, but the Bane Bust, it just didn't work. The follow-up Bane Bust had potential, don't get me wrong. The charge lots overextend, and it looks like we have enough queens to hold on for the time being. Oh my god, EON, let's calm down, buddy. Lings move out, and EON, for the first time, is getting eyes on the 3rd base. This is a bit of a feels bad, man. The 3rd has been up for a while. EON could have focused and taken down the 3rd if he had known about it, but he didn't check. He didn't see. And we've got more gates on the way behind this. We have a fleet beacon as well. XionS is getting ready to transition into Sky Toss, into carriers. Because of this, he may give EON a lot of time, but that's time that XionS is using to take to the skies and go into that Sky Toss. What is EON's plan here? Again, he's working off of very limited information. He's aware of the 3rd base, isn't aware of the 4th, isn't aware of the tech, but he is working on a Hydrogen, so he will at least have some anti-air. I mean, he sold the 3 Void Rays earlier, so he knows how much value there is in having anti-air. And we'll see if he can get it in time, because the first carrier is in production. Thankfully for EON, there's only a single Stargate for production, so there's not going to be too many carriers coming out at once. It's going to take a while for XionS to really build up that carrier count, but his main army is still looking pretty terrifying. Like, he's still got a lot of gates. A lot of gates, a lot of Zealots, a lot of Archons, a lot of Protoss. Boy, EON taking a 4th behind this. Again, he's trying desperately to drone up. He's still down 20 workers. Has a decent army, and it looks like he wants to maybe hit a timing here with +1. Hydra range is on the way. +1 range is on the way as well. It could work out for him, don't get me wrong. Especially before we hit critical mass of carriers. Still, this is the first carrier that's coming out. We have 2 more Stargates, so after this first carrier, it's going to be triple carrier production, which is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. EON has to end the game before that happens. Oh boy. So far, again, not droning up too heavily. He can't because he's a little bit supply blocked. Again, roaches do take up a lot of supply. But after these 5 overlords finish, I imagine we're going to see nothing but non-stop Hydras. And there we go. Hydras are on the way. These sentries, these hallucinations are going to confirm the 4th. They're also going to confirm, or they should confirm the tech. I don't believe they got behind the main base. They didn't, so Xylons is a little bit in the dark, but I mean, again, doesn't matter. We have 3 more carriers in production. Oh my god. Hydras have been revealed. And even this army is going to be threatening EON all the way back. I say that, but with the reinforcements of Hydras, EON should be able to take this fight. I just worry about the carriers when they reveal themselves. How much damage can EON get done before that happens? He's rushing all the way across the map. Oh, the carriers still haven't shown themselves. EON going to be rotating around, looking to hit the 3rd base instead. It could definitely work out for him. Plus on Carapace is on the way. I think he's wise to what's happening. And if Xylons is out of position, maybe EON can snipe a base. The cannons and shield batteries are going to buy a lot of time though, and I think Xylons is doing the correct choice of just keeping his keeping his army in between his bases, ready to respond wherever the Zerg player shows up. Drop a mass, not just a Dropper Lord. We have 4 Dropper Lords headed towards the main base. You love to see it. EON is going to try and pull his opponent apart. These Dropper Lords could even maybe take down some of the production. We shall see. The carriers do show themselves. EON forced all the way back, but it doesn't matter because this main army was a little bit of a distraction. Here we go. We have the drop into the main base. A couple of probes going down. I say a couple of 12 probes go down. We see a recall. The majority of the army does turn around. A lot of Hydras are going to go down here in the main base, but that does expose the 3rd. Oh, is it going to be enough? Are the Hydras going to be enough? We do see Archons breaking on through, and Xylons does defend that 3rd base. And now EON is in a really precarious position. He knows about the carriers. There's so many of them. 7 carriers in total. Hydras are good, but are they that good? We don't have any splash damage, so something like Infestors could be a good call. And there we go. EON is going for Infestors. Oh. Pathogen Glands is on the way. But he's going to lose an army. He's going for the base trade. 4th base is going to go down. He goes straight for the 3rd. There is no recall, and now EON has to make a choice. Does he turn around or does he commit? And it looks like he's committing. Uh-oh. And there's no detection. The DTs. Feels bad, man. The one time you don't have detection, EON can't make any headway across the map. He's forced to turn around and come back home without his Infestors, without Microbial Shroud. He's trying to DPS down the Interceptors as best he can, and he's doing a decent job. He has to be careful with these Overseers, by the way. Again, DTs can just end the game. And does he have enough Hydras? It looks like he doesn't. With the Stalkers, with the Void Rays, there's just too much Protoss here. EON with a really good effort going for the Bane Bust earlier on. But again, he just didn't have enough. GG, well played. Xylons takes game 2 and the series. GG. I see Tavo in the chat. Gas. Xylons and Skytoss? As always, exactly. Xylons, he's all about that Skytoss is if he survives. It was just really unfortunate that EON had gone for a Bane Bust and there was a Stalker in the wall. Not just that, but the fact that EON didn't see the fast 3rd. If he did, he could have diverted his attention and at least kept Xylons on 2 bases, but that 3rd went uncontested for a long time. A very long time.